Welcome back to CFB Nation. I am your host, Nino Brown. I got my co-host, Mr. Get It Done, aka D Now. He was with us for a very special. This is special for me because everybody knows, I'm an Oregon Duck fan. Devy Darlings. We be talking about Jurrion Dickey. But before we get into it, Mr. Get It Done, how we doing tonight?
Uh, Better now. It was a long day. It was a long day.
I gotta say, I'm loving the new setup. Very
Yeah,
professional. Sporting the Iowa, the fan going on
of
right
course.
there. You got
Got
the
it.
T2T in the background. The mini helmets.
Got it.
Beautiful. Chef's kiss to
Appreciate
that
that.
one right there. Um,
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna be partial. My man will keep me on the straight and narrow here, but I'm partial because this is my guy. This is my team. So if I get out of pocket, Dina will bring me back in. But all right. And a lot of people and my man himself kind of was thrown off a little bit when he was breaking stuff down. A lot of guys think he's shifty. Not shifty. He's a speedster, right? He's not as big as he is. He's 6'3", 210, all right? The 5-star, going to Oregon, coming out of Menlo Atherton High School. Okay, now before we get to that point, there's some things we need to talk about. He first started out at San Jose Valley Christian High School. This blew me away. Okay, as a freshman comes in, 28 receptions, 540 yards, 7 touchdowns, and my man damn near averaged 20 yards per catch, 19.3. Dina, now we're talking about a kid that's 15 years old right here. Like, talk to me.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. 15 years old. I'm sure he was lanky
Right.
little kid right there, and he's still putting up almost 20 yards per catch on 17, 18-year-old kids. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're a dog.
Yeah, exactly. You should be on a freshman team. You're out there on varsity dogging people. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So then he hit a wall. Not his point, but COVID hit. So it was only 4 games. He really didn't get much playing time. Comes in and says, okay, I got a year off. I'm ready to put everything on display here. So he goes for, in 2021, 79 receptions, 1,304 yards, 19 touchdowns. And he says, I'm going to go with 16.7 yards per catch on those 79 receptions. Like, what? And God, it tripled, almost tripled everything he put up in his freshman year. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Those are grown man numbers. Like, even NFL, you'd be happy with those kind of numbers.
Yes, 100%.
First team NFL. And to do it as a junior, it just shows the hard work he put into his craft.
Right.
After the season was cut short the year prior. So, I mean, kudos to him for that.
Now we're talking about the receiving part. Now I'm going to talk a little bit how special this kid really is, okay? Because he was a 3-level player. He played defense at the safety position, had 18 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 4 picks, right? And he also played special teams, 17 kick returns, took it to the house twice. My man had 5 punts. No, not punt returns, punts, all right? So they used Jurrion Dickey everywhere they possibly could at San Jose Valley Christian. But then my man says, all right, listen, I need to take my talents elsewhere. I need to put my talents on display. I know I got this, the 5-star status, and I'm going to show it all off to everybody. Decided to go to Menlo Atherton High School, okay? He only played 4 games because he got a foot injury. But in those 4 games, had he finished the season at the pace he was going, it would have been phenomenal. 20 receptions, 453 yards, 6 touchdowns, 22.7 yards per catch. This is what got me, okay? 285 total yards, 4 touchdowns, 68 yards rushing with a touchdown, a 50-yard touchdown run in the very first game of the season.
Yeah. I watched that game and I was just like, the entire time watching him is he couldn't be touched that game. It was just ridiculous watching that.
And they threw it. There was one play in the second quarter, right, where the QB threw it. I don't know if it was a go route or whatever it may be, but he kind of like faded into the center. There was 7 defenders in the
Oh
spot.
yeah.
He caught the ball, and none of them had a chance in hell to catch him. He made like one little cut move to the corner, touchdown. I was like, oh, okay, my friend. Not only can you dog him one-on-one, you can just dog the whole team. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't even describe that.
Yeah, now the thing about Menlo that I found interesting, okay, they put out a bunch of high caliber offensive talent and some defensive guys, but the guy that he's going in to learn from and work with, Troy Franklin, attended Menlo the year before he attended Eugene. So I think that's key. Franklin's already talking about how Dickey's his guy. They come from the same area. They came from the same school. He's kind of mentoring him. He goes, Dickey's going to be Dickey. That's the slogan apparently going around in Eugene right now. Dickey will be Dickey. I have it at the bottom, but I want to touch on it now. He was 13 everywhere he went. No matter what school he was in, Pop Warner, 13 was his number. He came to Eugene and says, nah, I don't want it. They were going to give it to him, right? He said, nah, I don't want it. Give me 99. I want 99. Like, unique number. Kid got the number. He's out there grinding every day. I'm loving it. I can't wait to see him put on these talents on display. The kid's a pure athlete, okay? Absolute pure athlete in every sense of the form. Now, you kind of threw me off balance a little bit when you said he wasn't fast because what you see him on tape, but then we spoke about it, and you see the speed, it just doesn't pop off the screen. 4.58 speed ain't bad, okay? But he's not crazy. But at 205, 210, maybe probably 215 by the end of the year, it's like a locomotive coming at you, right? Got a sub 12 second 100 meter. We said it was 11.33.
Yep.
The kid's a 3-sport athlete: football, basketball, track and field. Kid doesn't just run; does a long jump as well. So like I said, he is a legit all around athlete. Now this is what I love to see. Okay, this is what sold me on Dickey when I first saw him: the twitch at the line, the explosiveness at the point of attack. Okay, and he's physical at the point, but it doesn't stop there. Like he'll set you back 2-3 yards, and then you think, oh, okay, I'll be able to, recover, get back with him, and I'm gonna hand check and get him off his game. Try to get that inside shoulder on him. Yeah, no, not today. That ain't happening on Jurrion Dickey. He's too strong. Okay, and he at the age he is now, 18, just turned 18. I want to say a couple weeks ago. He's a man among boys. Like, he's probably the most physical receiver on the Ducks squad. He's an 18-year-old kid. He'll go up and get any ball. At 6'3" and growing, he's moving up like the Jeffersons. All right? He possesses the skill and timing to be able to morse DBs. And when I say morse DBs, he likes to do, I say late hands of receivers sometimes. My man likes to do it late because he knows he has athleticism and a timing. These guys are going up and about. He'll wait a half second later just to make it look better. And just straight morse these dudes. It's crazy. He's a good route runner. He gets in and out of his breaks quick and sharp. And this is what we said, coming off of a foot injury, week 5 of his senior year. He's a good route runner. He's not a one-trick pony. You can put the crown on him. You want to talk about running a post corner? My dude lights you up any day. Give me that crown. What are your thoughts on his abilities as a receiver and what you've seen?
So, like you said, I love how physical he is at the line of scrimmage. As soon as the corner tries to jam him, he's not about that. That corner's gone. Moves him so quick. And how you said, he is such a crisp route runner. Watching him cut in and out, there's no rounding of it. It's just straight to the point and out. And I love what you said about mossing it. It's like he's playing with his food out there. It's just like right when the corner thinks he's got it, it's like, nope, mine. I
seen him late in his junior year. I want to say it was like maybe week 9 or 10. They were playing a team with it was golden helmets. I just remember that because all you see was 2 gold helmets come up. Like the DB and the safety had one eye safety over. They came up. He waited like a half second. He could have just jumped up with them and totally took the ball from him. And we all know that. He waited like a half second until they were at the crown, and he went up and literally, as they were coming down, was like, "Yeah, that's mine. Thank you." Stopped. It's in the intro. Turned and went for a tutty. So like, his awareness, his vision. it's like I look at all these receivers coming in, right? And I love Zachary Branch. I think he's an absolute dog. And I love Lemon. He was my favorite until I started looking at Dickey because I think Lemon's we'll talk about him later on, a couple weeks down the road. But Dickey has all of it. He can have a 50-50 ball. He doesn't have that like top-notch elite speed, but he got speed and he's got enough speed to separate quickly. He's like we said, quick at the route. Like he has all the intangibles. I think by the end of this class, when it comes to that day, when they're drafting whatever state they're in at that moment, I think Dickey will be the number one receiver in that class by the end of that time. What are your thoughts there?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was the number one receiver in his draft class. If not number two, number three,
Right.
he won't be very far from it just because of how I don't want to say he's completely polished, but I would say he's like 90% there already as an 18-year-old, which is terrifying.
Exactly. Now, the foot injury we spoke about a couple times, that's what stopped him from enrolling early. All right. So he kind of was behind the eight ball a little bit. And as of August 14th, I believe this is his ninth logged practice from when I read what Franklin was saying. And he says he's already come along fine. He's already in the groove. He's doing his thing. We spoke off in the green room. It's a crowded wide receiver room, right? There's a lot of guys. They had guys. Franklin returns, right? They brought in Gary Bryant Jr. from USC, Trajan Holden from Bama, Tez Johnson from Troy, who's going to have a connection with my guy Bo because that's his adopted brother. They've grown up together. They've been throwing passes and catching in the backyard forever. They got Kyle Casper, and they also got in the freshman Aston Kuzat. All right. Now, I said to you, I don't expect him to start early. All right, he's behind the eight ball a little bit. Maybe he's like 90%. I don't think they're going to need it right off the rip because they got enough talent out there. But I think when it gets to those physical games, and I think I say week 5, Washington is what I said to you. If it's not week 5, it's definitely week 7 against Utah. That's always been a big physical matchup for the Ducks.
Yep.
That's what I think they're going to need. They're going to need that physical presence. They're going to need a guy that can just throw that DB. And if it's not the DB1, good luck. Throw that DB off the line. And he could eat in that short intermediate route. And that's what I think he will do early and often until they get to the red zone. My concern with the red zone is Bucky Irvin could eat some of those targets, right? Because he's a killer. Holden came in for this reason. This is why Holden's there. He's a red zone dude. Like he's big guy. He's 205, I think. So he's closest, to the size of Dickey. If, and I hope it doesn't happen, but it benefits either way. If Terrence Ferguson is not healthy to start week 1, then I think the door is open for my guy Dickey to come in early and get those short intermediate routes because they're going to need a physical dude.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts there?
I would say it's going to be, I don't know. I'm kind of big on Kyler Casper. I mean,
you like the guy with one target?
Yeah. He was a redshirt freshman. I mean, he's a big body too.
6'5", 6'4".
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be my Iowa bias since his dad played at Iowa, but he's a pretty athletic kid himself. So
no, I get it. I know he's sitting right in front of Dickey in that,
As of now, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. If they get down to the red zone, I mean, you got to figure everyone's going to know Holden's going to be option number 1.
Yeah.
So why not just get another big body in down there? And I could definitely see him, if Bucky doesn't take the targets, him eating down there.
Right. Like if it wasn't as crowded of a room, I think he would have a better chance off the rip to eat.
Oh, 100%.
I think, and I'm same way with Jonte Cooks with Texas. I feel like those two will both get playing time when the physical game is needed, right? These are bigger receivers who can play on the outside, play on the inside. That it doesn't really matter to them. But I think he has all the intangibles. And you may not see it early. You might say, oh, I don't know, Nino and Dino, they might be off the pace or whatever because he doesn't pop off the thing. I'm telling you, by the end of the season, if you don't know who Jurrion Dickey is, you're going to say, okay, I need to make sure I can get this guy in my college fantasy drafts, my Devy drafts, or find a way to trade whatever I can to get this guy. Because I love Franklin, but I think Dickey has the next level above Franklin. And he's the second highest. He bumped Franken out of that spot. Like Franken was the second highest wide receiver of or any recruit to go to Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And Dickey came in and says, all right, I'm going to bump you down one slot. I'm going to take the 2. You can take the 3. So I just like that they're coming from the same school. They're already working together. It's all kind of like just molding in. There is a very big chance that Jurrion Dickey is a Devy Darling by the end of the season.
100%.
I'm Nino Brown, the CFB Nation, Mr. Get It Done Dino at the bottom, on the side, up top, to the left. We everywhere, all right? We coming. Next week, we got Branson Robinson. We're talking about that big physical running back. But for now, the CFB Nation, we out. Randall.